All right, so we're about ready to go. A couple minutes away from the start of the women's gold race, the Jack Johnson Women's Gold Division I 6,000 meter contest. Here we go. We got the defending champion Michigan State Spartans. They are in this race, led by their fourth place finisher at NCAA's last year, Rachel Schulis. Watch out for her in the individual race. Do want to say for those Spartans fans listening at home, Michigan State men got a very important victory in the men's race just a second ago. So if you're a Spartans fan at home, about to watch your defending champions, the men get a nice victory here before the ladies. So we could see a Michigan State Spartan sweep here. So stay tuned.
And like we mentioned earlier, the Michigan State men put together a strong pack led by Ty Carey to finish 7th, 8th, 13th, 14th, and 32nd.
And not to mention without a former All-American in Caleb Reinard. They're definitely their number one. I think he was top 10 here a year ago. Caleb Reinard figures to be in that All-American contention this year. But anyways, we're on to the ladies. The whistle has been blown. We are about to go off here on the ladies' side. This one should be thrilling. We also have another Cal Bear we can mention, Bethan Knights. She was 25th at the NCAA meet, 15th here a year ago. So she is someone to also to watch out for.
And spoke to Bethan yesterday heading into this race. She has kind of established herself here as a freshman last year. Took away a top 10 finish, if I'm not mistaken, as a freshman, and kind of surprised some people. And also went on in the fall to finish 24th, I believe, at the NCAA Championships. All-American honor as a freshman. You don't see that very often.
No.
But she is definitely one to watch here, and we have already seen a clear early leader here who's taken it out very hard.
Very quick early on. And we're going to get you an idea about where they're heading on the course. This course will be a little bit different, so in a few moments we'll toss it onto a map. To give you an idea, I'll do some circles on the screen. You'll love it back at home. But early on, a fast leader out quickly. I'm having trouble telling who it is, but let's show you back at home where we're at on the course. So using my handy-dandy cursor, I can indicate to you with my blue. Check this out. Okay, perfect. This is where we are at in the course with the yellow inside my circle there. That's where we're navigating early on. They're going to wrap around that relatively tight turn, and that is where we will be on this course heading to our 1K. But early on so far, we've got a leader that's busted out of the gates. You didn't see it on in the men's race. Talked to some of the athletes. They said, that it was the plan coming in, noting the heat, that they wanted to stay smooth and not get out too hard. So we're going to see if that's the case for the majority of the pack on the ladies' side. But so far early on, we have a leader, and you'll catch her on your screen momentarily, who's already out very well. But you do see a big pack of ladies already behind her, so she's not going to get anywhere too quickly. So 2 minutes into this race, and I see Schulis there from Michigan State. She's in about 4th right now. I think she has her teammate with her. That might be Alexis Wiersma. So the Spartans already looking good, looking for a team sweep of the men's and women's competition.
And as you can see, early on in this race, we're just coming into 2:30 into this race. The course is narrowed. Runners are trying to establish themselves early on. Like we've been saying all day, you have to think about going out within yourself on this course, just because it takes a toll. The hills are brutal and they catch up with you by the end. So coming into this first K, coming into the mile, runners have to be aware of that. And I'm sure the coaches have gone over race plan with them, but that's something they absolutely need to consider.
Yeah, and we're gonna wrap around, head to our kilometer. I'd say this is, maybe we've hit the peak of warmth and as far as the temperature goes, and now we're going to slowly start to creep down. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's going to keep getting warmer. It still feels warm, but it affected the men's race tactically. Will it affect the men's race tactically like it did as well in this race? So we're going to anticipate our ladies wrapping around to this point, which is our area in between the 1K and the mile. There you see our lead pack. They've caught up to our early aggressor, and she still leads. So Schulist is there now on her left shoulder. You'll see her on the right side of your screen, the taller blonde there from Michigan State. She's our top returner in this race.
You can also see Cal's Bethan Knight's All-American in cross country, as I mentioned earlier, and a pair of Boise State ladies, including standout freshman Allie Ostrander, who comes from Kenai High School in Alaska, just is coming off of a mountain running championships just days ago in Wales. But she is here with her team representing those Boise State Broncos.
Yeah, and it looks like, let's see if we can get a, they also have another freshman who is very, very talented as well. And we're going to see who we have here. But yeah, as you mentioned, Allie Ostrander, the smaller figure there on your screen. She's in the middle, split between Bethan Knights, and then there's Schulist there. So Allie Ostrander there in the middle. But right now, leading for Boise State, we're trying to get an idea who that is. Possibly it is Bothman. I think she is the leader, but we'll have to get an idea of who that is in just a moment.
But the Boise State Broncos trying to make an early statement here. They lost some big low sticks in Emma Bates and Marissa Howard, who both graduated and have gone on to run professionally. But you know what they lack in senior leadership, they make up for in some big time freshman recruits.
Yeah, and I think the runner leading up front is Mintu Huka, and I think she is. We'll have to get. Want to say she's from Norway. Let's take a peek at that. Yeah, she's actually from Finland. My mistake. But she's a new recruit. She's 20 years old, brought in by Boise State. Really one of the better recruiting classes in the country. She's run 4:28 for 1,500, so there's nothing that really pops out. 9:27 for 3K is relatively impressive, but really getting out aggressive early on, and so is Allie Ostrander.
Something to note of Boise State, they currently have 4 runners in the top 10 at the moment, as you can see
Broncos.
in those gray jerseys on your screen. Going out hard, making that early statement. And I believe we have a barefoot runner.
Oh my.
Their
this is just
Boise
getting
State
wild.
leader is running without shoes.
And this could be a South African athlete. I think this might be Annie Bothma, who is 48th at World Cross, not juniors, World Cross. So barefoot on a golf course isn't the worst place to run barefoot. I mean, it's going to feel good between the toes.
Yeah.
But out there leading early on, I believe is Annie Bothma. She is a representative from South Africa. Part of this recruiting class, again, that Boise State brings in. They are going to surprise some people this year. I think they may have gone out a little bit hard here. Schulist is a step above these ladies, at least I believe. We'll have to find out as this race keeps going on.
This is going to be interesting, and the leaders have already emerged heading into the first 2K of this race. Looks like Rachel Schulist is now leading that pack. She had a standout cross-country season last fall. She contributed to, was the leader the majority of the fall season, leading the Michigan State Spartans to the program's first NCAA title this fall.
So update, 3 Boise State Broncos in the top 5 right now, and this is a pack of 5 that's broken away from the rest of the field. So, and I believe that might be Boise State's 4th right there, and there's their 5th. So the Broncos right now are winning this race. I mean, it's
Holy
definitely
cow.
no. And Boise State with 33 points through 2 kilometers. I know that was a bit ago, but that was our first split. Boise State with 33 points through 2K. The Broncos are not messing around right now.
And one thing to note about Mintu Huka, the Boise State leader, as she's running barefoot, I remember interviewing 2, I believe they were from
Coastal Carolina. 2 athletes last year at the NCAA Championships, because I noticed the day before the meet they were running barefoot, and of course I had to ask them about it. Especially in Terre Haute, that course is pretty tough, and they said they've never run with shoes. They just used to it. Apparently in South Africa, it's just the thing that cross country runners do. Which apparently.
That and maybe some tape.
So we'll get a little bit of an intro of who these ladies are. We know Ostrander. She's NXN champion. She ran 9:58 on the track in the 3200 last year. Dominated Alaska cross country. I mean, not as competitive as a lot of states, but still. So she's one of their talented freshmen. The barefoot runner that we've been talking about, that's Annie Bothma. She has a 34:39 10K personal best on the roads. Now, she was 48th at World Cross. That's very impressive when you consider how many East Africans are there. I mean, and she's only a 20-year-old. It shows what type of caliber of athlete we're working with. And then we had mentioned Hookah earlier before. That's the other athlete, the 3 in the top 5. She makes up the third lady there. A 9:56 steeple to her name and a 16:42 5K. Those are impressive. They don't jump off the page, and they certainly aren't numbers that would think that they would be out this hard early on. So it is surprising, don't get us wrong on that end, but these ladies aren't coming out of nowhere.
No, definitely not.
So we'll try to catch up with them. They're going to be heading to the 3,000 meter point. You're seeing a big chunk of the pack here now working their way through the course. And I think we've mentioned several times, it's about 80 degrees out here, maybe it's slightly cooler.
Hotter. The course is torn up slightly just from the 4 races before, but you know, the lead pack has emerged. 5 girls, 3 Boise State runners.
Wow. So the other 2, of course, are Bethan Knights, who is an All-American, 25th or 24th a year ago, and then Rachel Schulis, who was 4th at NCAA's a year ago. So that shows you the caliber of ladies that these freshmen, these young ladies from Boise State are hanging with early on as they come through 3K, about 10:14, 10:15.
When I spoke with Allie Ostrander, who is now in the lead with Bethan Knights currently, spoke with her yesterday. I asked her, you know, it was a quick turnaround. She won the mountain championships in Wales on last Saturday, and quick turnaround to come here and contribute to Boise State. And I asked her what the travel was like, and she said, you know, it was a little rough, but she's ready to go and she's excited to compete for this Boise State team. She seems to really love it there.
Well, here's the thing with this course for Allie Ostrander right now. This feels like a track. This feels nothing compared to a mountain race, right? I mean, she's not only did that, was a world junior champion last week, but she's done that Mount Marathon race in Alaska, which goes up some ridiculous amount of feet that I don't remember the figure. I mean, she's done that too. This should feel like nothing. And she's a great track runner. This is the future of NCAA cross country in Allie Ostrander. And could Boise State, so long it was all Emma Bates at Boise State. Last year they finally get a team to NCAAs. That generation is gone now for the most part. This is the new generation, and look how quickly they're picking up the slack last year after their best finish ever at NCAAs.
Absolutely.
So there's our pack. It's still the 5 that we had early on. Maybe a Boise State athlete there falling off just ever so slightly, but I think Ostrander's still pushing the pace up front there with Schulis and with Bethan Knights.
This Boise State team is really surprising me right now. I wasn't anticipating it being 3.
No, and we'll have to see. Like I said, at 2K, they had 33 points. So we'll see where they are team-wise. They had everyone in the top 20.
And so it's, you know, a little hard to tell the difficulty of this course from this angle, but we're going to pull up the map to just show you what these runners are dealing with here on this difficult Roy Griak course.
All right, so we are back on our map. Here is, oh, excuse me, sorry about that, folks. Give me 1 second to fiddle with my tools here. Here, look at that, watch that. All right, here's about where we are on the course. And let me get you a little bit of tighter view here. There we go. So inside my circle, about at that bend is where we are at this point of the course. They're going to be heading around that turn to the 4,000 meter mark. And as we said, our top 5 still together. It's different from how the men's race is playing out, but we do have updated 4K splits as they have now passed the point where we have on my course. Boise State, 34 points at 4K. Is this like serious right now?
Is this real life?
I don't know if it is.
I think it's real life. This is a new and improved Boise State team.
So I was a little bit off here. They're at about this portion. I'm sorry about that. But so they're at this point. Boise State 34 points. They are blitzing this field. If they keep this going, they're going to be in the top 10 in our rankings. Rankings only mean so much, obviously, but this will be the biggest statement of this weekend for sure if Boise State is able to maintain this stranglehold in the lead. And it's not just the lead, it's nearly 100-point lead. So
well, and as we saw earlier, the remaining teams that are currently sitting in the team standings at 4K, Weber State is in second, California is in third, Minnesota fourth, Michigan State fifth. So I mean, there's a lot of important, crucial racing left to go between 4K and 6K, especially the 4K and 5K points. It's very windy. It's a lot of switchbacks, a lot of sharp turns, but you know, these runners are, this is the point where we are gonna see some clear team leaders, some, you know, pull-aways. That's what you can anticipate from this point of the course.
And I apologize once again. I think we were off a little bit early on the 4K split. That's not quite accurate yet, but they're approaching that point now on the course. But you saw there a group of 3 is broken away from our early pack of 5 that appeared to be Bothma of Boise State, Ostrander of Boise State, and then Bethan Knight. So those are our top 3 now. Surprising development with, looks like Schulis is starting to fall off the pace at this point. This is incredible.
Well, and you know, as we saw earlier, and we, you know, have mentioned her several times, Allie Ostrander, this course, the difficulty of this course with all the constant rolling hills is kind of tailor-made for a runner like her, who's used to running up mountains from the time she was a little girl.
Well, and the courses in Alaska surely aren't going to be very easy. Yeah, I do like your tailor-made reference. You should coin that. But so you're seeing our field work through as they're heading to the 4K. Our leaders should have passed it by now, but so we'll show you exactly where they're winding through. Apologize for a little bit of confusion. So we're back on the map now. This is our section. Let's correct that. This is about where we are at now in the course, whittling their way, heading to the 5,000 meter point. And then we're just going to have 1 kilometer left to go in this race. And Boise State has just been torching this field right now. So most of the course already navigated for these ladies. We've seen no problems so far for Boise State, the young team. I didn't think even, you know, we should say Michigan State, I believe they're missing last year's 11th place finisher at NCAA's Lindsey Clark is sitting out this meet. So several key athletes are sitting, resting this meet, and it's impacting some of the results. But still, I can't say enough about Boise State right now, what they're doing.
It's going to be really, really interesting to see who's going to come over that final hill heading into the finish line. I mean, this is an extremely exciting race, and you know, but the Roy Griak Invitational never disappoints. It always puts together top teams at every level, Division III to Division I to high school. I mean, and you know, this women's race is no exception. There's several ranked teams here, and it's this weekend, as you know, we've said, is the first great indication of how some of these top-ranked teams are going to shake out in November. Obviously, this is very early in the season, but it's a good test. If you can run well on this course, you can basically run well on any course. You got to be tough to run well on this course.
Yeah, you really do. And I mean, could we see Allie O get a victory here, or could it be her teammate? I mean, we didn't even know about the strength. We knew relatively, but to be this high up, I wouldn't say it's a surprise out of Ostrander, but to have Bothma up there, to have Hinku up there as well, and to have also their 4.5 is absolutely incredible. So I'm interested to see how Michigan State, what they're going to do. They were pretty far back, so we're going to have to wait and see. Schulis was already falling off the pace, thought she would be the one to win this one. So we're in a little bit of a dead zone right now, but we're going to catch up to the lead momentarily.
And we're at about 18 minutes into this race, and the course record for the women's 6K is 20:05, I believe. So you know, shows that there's been a lot of really fast competitors here too. But that time is definitely not the fastest that you'll see on a college course, but it just a testament to the difficulty of the Leopoldstadt golf course.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get our athletes. They should be coming around this hill soon enough as we approach 19 minutes. So I'm getting word that Bethan Knights has now opened up a lead. Can she get a win here today? Big win for a sophomore. We talk about the freshman, but she's still only a sophomore.
And she's a runner with kind of unlimited potential. She showed that, especially in her senior year of high school, running for Northwood High School in Irvine. She still, I believe, still owns the record for the fastest double, 1,600, 3,200 meter double in high school history. She ran, I believe, 10:25 in the 3,200. I'm probably wrong on that. I don't have that in front of me. But she holds the record. I know that. She's a very talented lady.
Look at her flying.
She is made her move and is not looking back.
This one's over. Bethan Knights is going to get a victory here. We speak so much about Boise State. Bethan Knights making a statement of her own, going to beat Schulis and the talented freshman from Boise State. So we will see Bethan Knights in just a few moments. As we just hit the 20-minute point, we're going to see the driving range now in vision here, or in view, excuse me. Here comes Knights. It's going to be a slower winning time than we're used to, but it doesn't matter on this warm day. Bethan Knights, a big, big victory today to start off her sophomore year.
And should be noted that Bethan is the second Cal Bear to take an individual win here at Roy Griak. In 2011, Deborah Mayer claimed the individual title and led the Bears to a team title, which was tied with Iowa State that year. But Bethan Knights, the current Cal Bear leader and individual champion here at the Roy Griak Invitational, coming into the final stretches of this women's Division I race.
And so it looks like it is going to be Knights, clearly, and then it's going to be Ostrander to take second.
And she smiles for the camera. Comes into the finish unofficially around 2050. And
so here's Ostrander coming in.
Had to include that smile.
Oh, good race there for Allie Ostrander. And here comes Bothma. Bothma from South Africa, only a freshman as well. She was 48th at World Cross. She's third here today. Here's an Illinois athlete coming in fourth. So, and there is Schulis, a little bit of a disappointing race. Here's our third for Boise State. So they have 3 in before another team has 2. Here's 4 for Boise State. Boise State just gonna need 1 more. And I think I see their 5th. So the Broncos gonna get a dominating win here at Griak. So the Broncos from Boise State, our 16th ranked team, here's their 5th runner, and it is a resounding victory for Corey Imel's group here at Griak.
What a team performance from the Boise State Broncos.
And they're going to have 6 in before a lot of teams have their 3rd. Oh, quite the race out of Allie Ostrander, out of Bothma, just overall out of the Broncos. But got to give props to Bethan Knights getting her individual win. So here's our rest of our finishers coming in. The rest of our field starting to trickle in at this point. It was a less than a minute spread there for the Broncos. Impressive, no doubt about it. They'll be moving up the ranks.